Oh, that week-long wait is over, and it aches much more than it should. WandaVision Episode 3, now in colour. We follow our heroes into the next decade of television, the 70s. Wanda is now abruptly with child and developing at an alarming rate, whilst Vision attempts to be supportive, but even Wanda's powers are being affected by the new arrival. Here we are, we're finally back. WandaVision is finally back. This week is just so much longer than usual, it's just too much. Given the pace and the esoteric nature displayed in the last two episodes, I felt prepared for this, so this segment's inevitable slow burn didn't hurt as much. Even so, this level up to a Technicolor vision is welcome. This Brady Brunch parody is really fun. Olsen and Bettany again are adorable. I loved it. Did I enjoy it more than the last two episodes? Not really. To be honest, the last two had their charm, and so did this. There is a little less focus on the outside world here and much more on the substance of Wanda and Vision themselves. What I did like about this episode was that now it seems that each person's role in this reality is starting to become clearer. Pro and antagonists are beginning to surface, making the mystery even more enticing, so that's fun. The 70s era sitcom here is emulated pretty distinctly, with the sets looking fantastic and the costume design and just the general pace and style of the story. The story though itself is quite two-dimensional, as you would expect, considering this itself is an illusionary reality. The performances got even more wacky and lovable this time. I think this is because the tone is going to be increasingly more serious from now on. It's quite difficult to judge WandaVision because of the episodic plotlines aren't as complex or self-contained as, say, The Mandalorian. So much more happens in an episode of Mando and within the same space of time. It's quite crazy, but we aren't here for that. We want to see the MCU journey on. Being the connective tissue to something greater is all part of the process. Piecing things together so far, it does seem to be playing out more like a segmented film, which is a bit worrying. It's a bit sad, that they couldn't have done it in one whole chunk, but I still think this is too early to tell. The way that the show is effortlessly comedic and endearing, I love, but quicker than you can fire off a repulsor blast, the tone darkens, and with gravity pulling back into a familiar reality. This is thanks to some great writing, but it also hinges fully on the performances. Everyone in the show is just nailing it. This is leaps and bounds better than the abysmally rushed and wasted Inhuman show that they released a while back that I assume most people just forgot. Did you see that? I didn't see it. Did anyone actually watch that show? It's even better than any of the rest of the Marvel TV shows that they've released so far. But this is to be expected since all the major issues like licensing, production, budget are gone, being that it's made in-house. Plus, this being a mini-series allows the quality to be easily maintained, knowing that obviously they're going to finish with a limited amount of episodes, and everything is polished to a much higher standard. I like that this is a mini-series, but it is safe. I hope, or most likely was hoping, that we were going to get an extended journey from our heroes, and something that couldn't actually be demonstrated in a film. This is more of a lasered focus. I still love it, and also what it is doing for the larger narrative. The MCU movies going on into phase 4. But maybe if all the shows that they're releasing now are successful, they might actually think about making a more substantial story, somewhat more than just 2 hours altogether, and more like 10. That much content in film time would take over 5 years to accomplish. It's so difficult to know if that would devalue the production or the storytelling, but it would be great for them to seize the advantages that television series can offer. Yes, we were left with very few concrete answers again, but the devil is in the details.
That's not the only place he is.
Highly recommend. If you're already a fan of Marvel, then you're going to enjoy it. And it's more of an interesting look into who we already know, and it's also a step up from the last episode. if you're not already a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then this probably isn't going to interest you as much. But you might find it interesting, or it may even bring you into wanting to find out how these characters got to this situation. I found this still another entertainment installment featuring our two favourite Avengers, albeit a continuation of the searing slow burn that we've endured so far, but in Feige we trust. So spoiler talk ahead. I just want to get some ideas and thoughts that I have about the episode, because, I've got a whole week to wait for another episode, so I want to talk about this. So many interesting turns in this episode. The persistent references to Agnes's husband or partner, Ralph, is becoming even more suspicious, I think, now that he hasn't even shown up once. Or has he? The majority of the theorists agree that this character, Ralph, is Mephisto. And this is incredible. Someone that is top tier, is an actual god level entity, is entering the MCU. Thor is supposed to be a god, but the difference is that he lives in our plane of existence, and he kind of just seems more like an advanced alien that is viewed as a god, in contrast to how primitive our species is. But when you're talking about the devil, Mephisto, you're talking about an ethereal aspect of reality, something that is beyond alien space or whatever. This is on another level, and I'm so excited to see where this goes. I have a feeling he's going to be quite a playful character, a funny character perhaps, quipping here and there, a bit like Hades. We get a few moments later on with the Stork that we presume Wanda has accidentally brought to life, similar how the butterflies on the mobile came to life. I think this foul fledgling is Mephisto in disguise. Why? When Wanda tries to dissipate the Stork, a cloud of red smoke surrounds the bird. It is the same colour tone as Mephisto in the comics. A little bit different to the colour tone to the red that Wanda has in the movies. It is hard to say if this is conclusive, because Wanda is the Scarlet Witch, so red would be her moniker, it would be the same. If that's the case, he could have also been in earlier episodes, like Señor Scratchy, the bunny rabbit from the previous episode given to Wanda by Agnes. This could mean that he's actually always present in the episodes, but hidden in plain sight, meddling where he can. Typically demon kind of stuff. This also ties into the fact that the Stork was very much interested in drawing attention to Geraldine, considering we know now that she works at the organization SWORD and is likely trying to take Wanda from whatever plan Mephisto has for her, unknowingly. And it makes me think that Agnes is more of an antagonist here, considering she's also trying to get rid of Geraldine, or Monica Rambeau as we know she is. It's super interesting stuff. Mystery is developing even more. I quickly reference some things I loved, like the bright tone and colours of the set. Costume design is all fantastic, I think it looks amazing. The sets now are even more practical and have this playful vibe to them, making it stand out way more than any other Marvel movies, considering most are green screen. So this is really interesting, seeing all the paintings fly around and doing all their crazy stuff. The way that Vision and Wanda navigate the challenges of their odd relationship is beautiful, but it forebodes this imminent tragedy that's upon them. It breaks my heart to think that she is eventually going to lose him again, or hopefully she'll just have to reconcile the Vision is gone and she can't bring him back. Also that she can't keep these people in her reality hostage any longer. Because I definitely think that the people who she interacts with are actually real people who are just caught in her reality bubble and then appropriately assigned roles to fit in her narrative. Also, hearing Wanda say Pietro's name again, and also singing in what I presumed is Sokovian. If anyone knows if this is actually like a Slavic language or just like a fully fictitious language, I'd really love to know. Let me know in the comments. It was nice to just hear her speak in that way again. More on the tone as well. When Monica mentioned Pietro and Ultron, I was shocked. Oh shit, you fucked up now. Then we see Wanda just slowly turning into this ominous force, the true antagonist to this all. Just, she was scary. And the way that the aspect ratio morphed just had so much weight to it, like she's reminding everyone, including us, that this is her reality and that no one is going to upset it, not even Vision. When she rewound him earlier in the episode, I think that this is evidence that Vision isn't really alive. He's merely this puppet that she's using to prop up her reality, and thanks to her powers he's got limited sentience, but still if he ever tries to do anything that conflicts with it, she just switches him back. I feel that there may eventually be a conflict between both Wanda and Vision, similar to how Buffy felt towards everyone at the end of the series when she got brought back to life and she totally didn't want it. She just wanted to be dead and wished that they had left her dead. I don't think he's going to take it very well when he realizes what she's done. I'm even more curious to see what happens next week now. Another week to go, but I think it's going to ramp up now as we get into the 80s and perms come back in, and I think it's going to be quite interesting. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you think. I just want to get into the discussion. I'll also be reviewing Iron Man 3 coming up next week, and I think I'm going to try and fit in another new movie maybe the week after, so look out for that. Anyway, take care guys, thanks for the likes, love to the subs, and I'll see you all next time.